This video is brought to you by Digital Greyhound Racing, a new NFT game by BetNFT. The game is launching soon. For more information, go to betnft.run.
Hello and welcome along to the latest edition of Greyhound Gold. David Short and the Honey Man's with me again. Brett Honey, how do you do, Brett?
G'day, Shorty. Going well, coming off one of the better Mandurah Cups I've seen in my time, certainly following Greyhound Racing. We'll touch on that shortly, but cannot wait to get stuck into this weekend. We've got heaps of a Group 2, cannot wait for that. It's a really good time this springtime in, obviously, Spring Carnival over East and all that, but springtime in WA Dogs, it's a fantastic time to get involved.
It is. Great to see a bit of recognition for some of our WA chasers as well, with invitations to the Top Gun. So I'll be interested to see who takes up those invitations. We love it when our greyhounds head across to the east coast of the nation and fly the flag with distinction. So good luck to everybody that's had an invitation handed to them for the Top Gun. Speaking of that feature race last Friday night at Mandurah, let's head straight to it. Our replay and run of the week. Absolute champion of WA Greyhound Racing over the last 12 months, Vice Grip. Comes from box number 2 here. It's off the cherry, though, Bones McCoy, that really hits the ground running. Scoots up, finds the top. Vice Grip, though, straight into a clear second. Really good spot for anybody that backed Vice Grip at that point of the race. Amplified pushes through, and also Granite Song, who got the run as the reserve works into the race. Past the 300-metre boxes, Bones McCoy stretches out by 4 lengths, but you knew Bonesy was going to be on fumes late, and have a look who's on the scene. It's Vice Grip, breathing fire, turning for home. Vice Grip clicks up and takes over the concluding stages, steams home all over the top. Amplified tastes defeat for the first time in her career down there at Mandurah, but lost no admirers at all. A wonderful effort in second, and Bonesy very brave back in third. 27 and 45. Hats off to Glenn Curry to get Bones McCoy stretching out to the 490 and finding the podium in the Group 3 feature, and also to Johnny Carmody, Granite Song, getting the run as a reserve. Ran a really nice race in fourth as well. Splits there, 577, 16, 24, 27 and 25 overall. Congratulations to Adam Smithson and the connections. The Group 1 Perth Cup winner in Vice Grip goes down to Mandurah and takes out their feature race. When the big races have been on over the last 12 months, Brett, Vice Grip has just proven to be the superior sprinter. He just keeps fronting up, putting himself into a spot, and We've talked about him as almost bully-like. Within a race, he loves being able to get that spot where if he's not leading, he's right up outside the leader, just saying, hey, I'm right here, I'm breathing fire, and just be ready for a contest late in this race. And he's just an absolute professional.
He's simply the best. He's simply the best we got, and nearly his record now, he's already won a Group 2 All-Stars, he's won a Group 1 Perth Cup, he's now won a Group 3 Mandurah Cup, a couple of listed features in there. Look, even if he doesn't win in a fortnight time, if he wins the Group 2 All-Stars again, you know, when I started getting into the sport, it was dogs like Westland Augie, he was a champion sprinter, you know, Campaign, he didn't win a feature but was running time, and look, Vice Grip's now in that discussion as one of the better sprinters we've had in the last decade, if not the best sprinter we've had.
I think he's top 10 of the last 20
Tommy
years.
Shelby, of course, is the big one I'm forgetting there. Yeah. But look, his record speaks for itself. It's been a wonderful journey for both the dog and for Adam and Shantae there. Well done to those guys. And look, you look at the Beaten Brigade, Amplified, look, she was super. She lost no admirers there. She had to come from off the arm, worked home late. Bones McCoy, as you said, really good effort there by Glenn Curry. Only had 2 490s, comes up against the best dogs in the state over that 500-metre trip and runs third in a Group 3. Unbelievable.
It's great. And gave a lot of cheek up front, didn't it?
And then you look at it, even then, you keep going. Like Granite Song ran fourth.
Unsee, this was huge.
And Unsee, this 27.55, he's run fifth.
Yeah.
And this is why it's one of the better Group 3 Mandurah Cups we've seen in recent times. I've only been really closely following the sport from 2018, but that's a race that sticks out. It's going to stick out in my mind for some time. So, look, cannot wait to see these dogs now progress to the Group 2 All-Stars, which is our second biggest sprint race of the year at Cannington. Cannot wait to watch these 3 heats this Saturday night.
It's all happening this Saturday night out there. And, look, speaking of where we now see Vice Grip, last 20 years, he's top 10 of the last 20 years. And that's basically puts him in a bracket where every 2 years you're ranked as the best in the business. He's had longevity. He's been a proper feature race dog. When the big races are on, it's a credit to the training for Adam to have him peaking when the big races are on, but also the dog just for his durability. He just he's always there. When big races are on, he's fit, he's well, and he's firing on all cylinders.
Just love him to get into that Top Gun.
And win it.
And win it. and
Big time.
that would be the icing on the cake.
He's a
for mine.
great competitor. Wherever he goes, he's going to make sure that all the rest of his rivals know they are in for a race, that's for sure. And so, well done to Ad. It's been an absolute pleasure watching this dog race over the last 12 months. Long may it continue. Let's get down to the business of finding a winner or two, though, for the punters. Brett, we're going to go down to Mandurah for Friday night action. I'm going to kick things off and look to get the night off to a flyer here. Race 1, number 1, Nitro Jet. 2 for 2 from box number 1 here over the 302 metres. It just looks a really nice sprinter on the way through the grades here. Any dogs that are sort of capable of breaking that 17-20 mark, and this dog's run 17-15 from the draw only a couple of runs ago, they just find their way through to sort of grade 3, 4 quite quickly. That's what will be happening here. I used to enjoy the mother of this particular dog, Nitro Jet, White Minion. She was quite a striking short course greyhound that won plenty of races on the way through, so the Valentis are going to have a lot of fun with Nitro Jet, and I think it'll be getting our Friday night off to a flyer. Looking for a bit of value, again going to box 1, and again going for a dog that's got a record of 2 for 2 from box number 1. Chaser by the name of Launch Control. Now, last few runs from this greyhound have been eye-catching. Over the shorter trip of 405 metres, has really zoomed into the race and just literally been beaten by greyhounds that are 405 metre specialists. Now, steps out to the 490 metres here, gets that little bit more ground to work into the race and really smash the line late. Just think the dog's got the paw on the till. It's a good race, and the upside to that is we're likely to get a nice each-way price about this greyhound because of the depth in this particular field. So
Lewis Clay's been flying as well.
Yes,
and he's
he
done
has.
really, and with tried dogs as well. He had Gangan Manelli, who's really come on leaps and bounds, and hopefully we can see something similar here with Launch Control.
I can't see why Launch Control can't be right in this race up to its eyeballs on Friday night. It should be an each-way bet. I'm expecting it to be that sort of $4 to $5 range given the quality of opposition, and I'm happy to back the greyhound both totes in that scenario. So 2 plays for me, all about the Cherry Bombers for me on Friday night. Race 1, number 1, Nitro Jet, and then each-way race 6, number 1, Launch Control. Who do you like down there at the Coastal Circuit for Friday, Brett?
Yeah, we've talked me into a bet there in race 6, Shorty, but I'm going to be kicking off my work in race 8, number 1, Elliptical, my best bet here. Speaking of up-and-comers, this dog's been very impressive since starting his career with the right kennel Paul Stewart. Box 1, just from what I've seen so far, looks to be the preferred alley. You know, we see some dogs prefer outside draws, but this dog certainly want him down by the fence. Expect him to lead, expect him to go free for all time, and that would be winning this race. I would have thought race 8, number 1, Elliptical. For a bit of value, look, this is a hard race, but race 5, number 8, Sleepy George, a dog that's been quite consistent over 405 metres and hasn't got a bad record from box 8 either. Look, Bromine, I think from box 2 will be really hard to beat, but looking for a bit of each-way value here. Just think this is a race where Sleepy George can sit forward, and we know he's very strong to the line over 405 metres, and when he does turn for home, he does use a bit of the track, so box 8 is going to help there, hopefully stay out of trouble there. So hopefully each way, race 5, number 8, Sleepy George to go. My best bet, race 8, number 1, Elliptical.
Yeah, the old Molly Ringwald looking pretty in pink, Sleepy George. Well, I actually was right there having Sleepy George a very close contention to make my best each way on the
Well,
night,
that fills
Brett.
me
So
with
that's
confidence.
good news. I think it's well placed, it gets room, and I think it can run a very cheeky race.
I
So
like
nice
the one
find.
a little more.
Nice find from you for Friday night down there at Mandurah. Let's get to Cannington, as we touched on. Group 2 All-Star Heat Night. The best sprinters we have in WA are on show here on Saturday night. Promises to be a great night of chasing. Looking for better bets? Well, we'll go to one of those Anniversary Cup heats, and we'll go to the dog that you just saw take out the Group 3 Mandurah Cup Vice Grip. Box number 7, wonderful record from this draw. It's had 6 wins and 5 placings from 13 efforts from box number 7. It actually enjoys having a bit of room to operate. Gets a lovely map in this race, brimming with confidence off that big win there last Friday night at Mandurah. The funny thing about it is too, Vice Grip's regularly been the sort of dog that pays black odds, $2 and better in these sorts of races. And if you've stuck with this dog right the way through, you're a million miles in front. He's been good to me. I'm sticking fat with him on Saturday night. And actually going forward next best, these 2 dogs for me over the last probably 6 or 7 weeks have just been put in takeout jobs, and it could well be the same again. Look, a pair of 7s isn't always great for us at the poker table, but a pair of 7s could be nice for us on Saturday night at Cannington, because I'm going race 7, number 7, Pilbara. This greyhound has now won his last 5 consecutive races over the 715 metres at Cannington. They haven't been by big margins. They don't need to be. They don't pay out on margins. They pay out on victories.
Absolutely.
One thing I love about Pilbara, he just keeps finding a way to win. On Saturday night, he copped a few checks in the run. Some greyhounds would have found excuses and found ways to be beaten in that scenario. He knows exactly where the finishing post is over the 715 metres.
He's got their number at the moment.
And he just keeps finding a way to have his beak in front when that finishing post comes up the second time around. I think until he loses one of these, I'm just going to keep banking him. He's been very, very profitable for me, and there's no reason for me to jump off. So, Robbie Westworth, you just keep fronting up with Pilbara and keep on winning these free-for-alls over the 715, please. Pair of sevens, race 6, number 7, Vice Grip. I'm all upping it into race 7, number 7, Pilbara. Who's your best on Saturday, Brett?
Love your work there, Shorty. I'm going for the other champ in this series, or the up-and-coming champ, race 5, number 2, Throttle. Look, Tap Marker's already out. I saw about even money. I thought it was a 2-dog race between he and Amplified, and the fact is that Cannington Throttle's got the inside draw strongly puts me in his camp. Look, we've seen what this dog has already done at Cannington. He won the final of the state sprint, which took him over to Wentworth Park for the final there, and the way he went about that was just all class. And I think this dog, one of those dogs, these stronger types over 520, I quite like backing them fresh, because more often than not, when they're first up, they really ping the lids. Good luck running down this dog. We're just not going to. And I saw an article there that he trialled well, and look, I think he's going to be ready to go for this Group 2. And it could be, I know he's won that listed feature, but this could be the one where if he's able to beat Vice Grip, it really puts his name on the
map.
Absolutely. So race 5, number 2, Throttle. For a bit of value, it's probably more of a next best shorty, because after last week's performance, I think the cat's well and truly out of the bag. But race 1, number 5, Galleon. This is a maiden. Really good performance last week. And
big odds. It was big odds 100%, and ran a great race last week.
Yeah, and it was big odds because in the form book, the quality trials weren't that great, but clearly there's some ability. And sometimes it takes these dogs a little while to get into their work. So, look, I think he can settle forward. There didn't look to be a great deal of pace in this race outside of Harrico Manelli. So I think if Galleon can sit pretty close there, I think he'll be stronger to the line this week. 30 and 30 probably wins this race, and I think he can run that. So race 1, number 5, Galleon, to go with race 5, number 2, Throttle. It's the first time I've put a maiden in my Greyhound Gold Mail, Shorty. And
did I read a tweet last night from you saying you're never going to bet into a maiden race again?
You did, but I've since calmed down.
Okay.
And we're going to be back, and I will continue until I get a winner.
I like it. Well, I actually like that pick too. I thought the run was excellent last week, and I think that in good hands with Terry Earnshaw, the map does look okay despite the awkward draw. If it just steps, it can be right there.
It's one of those maidens where there's not a lot of first start, or there's no first stars here. He's probably the freshest dog in the race. There's a lot of exposed form here, so you can start to pick up on trends on those kind of things. It's when those maidens are coming off quality trials and all that, it's hard to bet, but here I'm pretty keen that Galleon can get the job done.
Excellent. All right, there you have it. Our thoughts for Friday night chasing at Mandurah, and of course All-Stars Group 2 heats Saturday night here at Cannington. If you're yet to make plans for the Melbourne Cup, look no further than Greyhounds WA Mandurah. Get in contact with Alina and the team there at Greyhounds WA Mandurah for Melbourne Cup Day. It is always one of the absolute highlight days of the year down there. You'll be treated like absolute royalty. They'll have all sorts of prizes, giveaways on the day. Get dressed up in your favourite racewear. And I'm sure you'll be in for one of the better Melbourne Cup experiences you've had in a long, long time. So good luck to Alina and all the team down there at Greyhounds WA Mandurah. Get in contact with them, but get in quick because tickets are selling fast.
It's always a sellout. And it's one of those, in Mandurah, you're a long way away from Ascot, which is where the races are at, and it's a chance to still go to the races, dress up, have a great day. Always good to have a midweek frothy and a punt, and it's a good way to do that at the Greyhounds WA Mandurah.
Indeed. Good luck if you are heading there for a Cup Day. That is it for another week, punters. Thanks as always for your company. Be sure to tune in again this time next week for the next edition of Greyhound Gold.